Glorious weather once again here in Northern Ireland. It's been a few years since we've had a wet Saturday at the Cookstown 100. Some big names have stepped down. Ryan Farquhar and Adrian Archibald spring to mind, but now could be the time for the likes of Derek Shields and newcomer Dean Harrison to join the likes of Guy Martin and the Dunlop brothers in the quest for honours. It's eyes left for the sign to say engage gear, then watch the lights. And we're away. Oh, it's a poor start for Guy Martin on the Tiger Suzuki. Almost caught napping there, but it's a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Derek Shields who flew off the line along with Michael Dunlop. And it's the McAdoo Honda of Dunlop just to the right of Derek Shields, who will get to turn one before anyone else. Guy Martin looking to make up what he lost off the line as Dunlop wriggles his way on the brakes into Gortin. Shields looks as if he'll outbrake him into the turn, and he does. So Shields leads. This is the second wave with Brian McCormack on bike trouble 1, plus the likes of Dean Harrison on bike 5. The RC Express Kawasaki fresh from battling the likes of Guy Martin and Jamie Hamilton at Scarborough last weekend. And it's Martin who passes Davy Morgan, but it's Shields who still leads. Mackley, and it's Shields from Dunlop. Pearson in third, Martin fourth, Morgan fifth. That's how they roll on this opening lap. Dean Harrison, meanwhile, is all over the back of Brian McCormack, gets the power on out of the turn and powers up the hill, times it to perfection. It is a time trial of sorts, of course. Harrison from the second wave could win this race if he laps faster than any of this bunch. Shields still leads as they exit Craigmount, but he's got Michael Dunlop on his rear. No sign of William Dunlop, who was on the 600, of course. He'll be losing only something like a second or so a lap, so he may have pulled up somewhere. In the past, Michael Dunlop used to take the bike out to the edge on the exit of the last turn. Not so wide then, but he is passing Derek Shields, is he? Here we go. Oh, ho, ho. Michael Dunlop, where did he come from? Now, will he get the braking spot on this time? Well, he leads from Shields as they go into Gorton. Guy Martin on the back of the group. Here comes Dean Harrison. Now, what will his time be? He slots into fifth, 3 seconds down on first place. Michael Dunlop into McAdoo on the McAdoo Honda. It's his Superbike from last year. Dunlop is certainly edging further and further ahead of Derek Shields. Dean Harrison has a clear track ahead of him, so he could potentially put in a very fast lap, which may just throw him right into the mix at the top of the leaderboard. This is the run to McAdoo. Here they come toward the jump. Guy Martin will not like to see Dunlop pulling further away. He needs to get past Pearson first. Whoa! Dean Harrison into Mackley, visibly not as quick as the likes of Dunlop, etc. through here. Now, here's that Guy Martin moment again. As he lands, almost crosses up in his quest to get past before they reach the top of the hill. Lap 2 completed. It's Dunlop from Shields. Martin up to third with Pearson back in fourth. Derek Shields back at Cookstown for the first time since 2010 and coming under the scrutiny of Guy Martin. But Shields once again showing that he's getting his timing spot on, is he? Really nice into Gorton. He's on Adrian Archibald's old Kawasaki for this. Dean Harrison looking a little bit ragged, but getting to grips with his racetrack. He's still fifth, but 3 seconds behind Michael Dunlop on corrected time. Guy Martin still unable to find his way past Derek Shields as they go through McAdoo. 65 is Sweeney, Alan Bonner just behind him, then Sean Anderson and Stephen Thompson testing his brakes just ahead of Rob Barber. And we're riding with Derek Shields now. Watch for Guy Martin, who may just pull the same trick this time as he did last time. There's the landing. Oh, and he has. So Martin up into second place and now in pursuit of Michael Dunlop. Surely, though, Michael Dunlop has too much of an advantage over Guy Martin at this stage of the race to be concerned just yet. Now here is Guy Martin going past Shields. He certainly comes top in the long jump, and his reward is second place. A lot straighter this time, and note how their bodies bounce as they readjust themselves back into the seat. Into Gorton then. Guy Martin on the brakes, Derek Shields on the brakes. Oh, backing in slightly there from Michael Pearson. Slides the back wheel into the turn. Dunlop still with that cushion, and it will take a superhuman effort from Guy Martin to reel him in. However, there is plenty of time left. Dunlop just about had the better of Martin here last year. Thankfully, no controversial yellow flag so far to deal with. Let's draw a line through that one, shall we? That was Michael Sweeney grabbing a lot of front brake, putting his rear in the air. Well, Dunlop continues to pull away at the front, much to the delight of many of the locals here. He continues to maintain roughly a 2-second lead over Guy Martin. And what about this pair? What a duel between them. Shields and Pearson in a hot battle over third, but they're some way off the pace of, well, especially this man, Michael Dunlop. 67 Irish road race wins to date, and about to make it 68. So Dunlop over the line then, takes the last lap flag. Dean Harrison still in 5th place. His best time's around 3 seconds of that of Michael Dunlop. Dunlop has increased his lead slightly over Guy Martin. He's put a few tenths between them. The gap is now 2.5 seconds. Only Michael Dunlop can beat Michael Dunlop now, you feel. He is a rider who makes very few, if any, mistakes. So around half a lap to go as Michael Dunlop passes the Czech rider de Koopel. Jamie Hamilton is on course for a top 6 finish. This is going to be a very popular victory, and a Dunlop is going to win at Cookstown yet again. Both Joey and Robert won 11 times at Cookstown, the majority on the old circuit. William has 9. Michael's not won that many yet, but at 24 years of age, he could top the lot of them. We could be looking at the most successful Dunlop ever around Cookstown. Guy Martin should take 2nd place. He still holds the lap record from 2 years ago. It's all hail Michael Dunlop, and just look at the reaction of the crowd, reveling in the delight of a home win. Once he saw off Derek Shields, there was no catching Michael Dunlop, who wins the first big Superbike race of the day. Here's the scores on the doors, with Derek Shields scoring 3rd place ahead of Michael Pearson following their battle, with Guy Martin 2nd behind Michael Dunlop. Any moment now, the Cookstown 100 will be underway. The main feature race of the meeting, Davy Morgan on 71 rolling forward, but we're away for real. Dunlop pushing his weight down the traction, Guy Martin on the back wheel. Michael Pearson looking quick from row 2, and he looks to have usurped a lot of them. Davy Morgan alongside Guy Martin for 2nd, and Dunlop 4th with Derek Shields 5th. That's who we ride with. Jamie Hamilton at the back of the group as they enter Gorton. It's a dream start for Pearson, not so for Dunlop, but a lot could well happen over the next 10 laps. Meanwhile, second wave is underway, includes newcomer Dean Harrison, and that's who we ride with. 65 Michael Sweeney struggling to keep the front wheel down. Into McAdoo bends. Dunlop is 3rd, but Martin looking to squeeze inside Pearson, which he does, but he's wide on the exit. They're side by side up the climb. This is with Derek Shields sat just behind Davy Morgan. So this is 5th, chasing 4th. What a start to this race. Leaders at Mackney, and neither Martin or Pearson giving the other an inch of road. It's so tight through this section, especially on the big 1000cc bikes. Not known for its overtaking, but it has happened through here in the past. So, Guy Martin from Michael Pearson, and the menacing figure of Michael Dunlop lurking just behind. Rider down, that's at McAdoo, and it's Michael de Koopel. He had a massive crash here a couple of years ago, somewhere on this section possibly, if I remember rightly, as Derek Shields slips by Davy Morgan. We're coming up to complete lap 1. What a good lap it's been for Pearson. 2nd and right behind Guy Martin, but Dunlop may chance his arm over the start-finish line. We'll have to wait and see. Here they go. They take it right to the grass verge, getting on the power out of the turn as quickly as possible. Jamie Hamilton has closed in on Morgan. We have to wait for the second wave for a true indication of how this race is shaping up as Dunlop hones in on Pearson, but he doesn't have the speed to slip by. Crucial to break just in time for Gorton, which is what they all do in this first group. Guy Martin on the back wheel. Riding with Dunlop on the stretch between Gorton and McAdoo. Yellow flags, no overtaking. That will because, or should be because of the Michael de Koopel spill. Derek Shields, meanwhile, closes right in on Dunlop in 3rd. Now, if you look at the red gate on the right-hand side of the track, you can see how much of a steep climb it is from the gap underneath it. The camera position makes the road look a lot flatter than it is. Plenty of fans darted all around the edge of the track. Many making the journey across the Irish Sea, just like the race leader, Guy Martin, the Englishman, still leading the 2 Ulstermen and the Dubliner. On board with the man in 4th place at the end of lap 1, Dean Harrison, 1.2 seconds behind Guy Martin. Martin looks to have pulled a bike length on Pearson, but he still can't shake off this trio behind him. They're coming up to complete lap 2. Don't forget, we have to wait for Harrison, who has a clear road ahead of him to see where he slots into the scheme of things on the leaderboard. Michael Dunlop still in 3rd place, and no suggestion from him so far in terms of making a move on the 2 men ahead of him. It's all about the brakes and holding the best defensive line, and Guy Martin is leaving a gap on the inside, is he? Michael Pearson says thank you very much, and the former Irish Superbike champion leads as they exit Gortin and head off to McAdoo. Derek Shields very close to Dunlop, right on his exhaust. Into McAdoo with Pearson leading away. He's on a Superstock bike with Martin on a Superbike, and I suspect, judging by the red plate, Dunlop's on a Superstock bike along with Derek Shields. Well, we're riding with the Honda of Michael Dunlop on the run to Mackney, still in 3rd place, racing at Cookstown for McAdoo, who celebrated their 30th anniversary as a race team last year. Martin content to sit behind Pearson for now, not like they did on the opening lap when they came into contact here at Mackney. Martin forcing his way through on that occasion. Meanwhile, Dean Harrison has slipped back to 6th place at the end of lap 2. He lost a couple of seconds on that one. Here's a replay of Michael Pearson on the Hotties Road Racing BMW in full flight. Guy Martin a little more conservative and not so spectacular. 3 laps of 10 completed then. Pearson still leading from Martin. Dunlop and Shields, 0.6 of a second between the 1st and 4th place. That's how close they are as they thunder toward Gortin. Dunlop making his move, drawing out of the slipstream. He may get a 2 for 1 offer here, but he holds off and brakes quite early. Pearson backs it in. Oh, he's backing it in Speedway style into Gortin, but just about manages to hold off Guy Martin. What a race! On board with Derek Shields. He's gone well in the past here, but this weekend it's got to be his best performance so far. Here comes Guy Martin up the inside of McAdoo. It looks like a carbon copy of the earlier move as Pearson swings back inside and they go side by side up the hill. There they are just ahead. Pearson with his nose in front plus the inside line into the next turn at Mackney. Oh, Martin powers his way through and he's taken the lead. Well, what a move by Guy Martin on the Taiko Suzuki. A quick twist of the wrist and he's back in front. And while those two are squabbling away, Michael Dunlop appears to be content with just sitting behind them. Derek Shields on his shoulder, and there's still, of course, more than half of this race to go. Time to get our breath back, perhaps, as we look at Michael Pearson just ahead of Michael Dunlop. A popular vantage point this for the spectators. Pearson's back wheel going light there as he hits the brakes. Guy Martin leads them out of Craigmount and down toward the Orator Crossroads. So the gang of 4 across the line. Guy Martin does a 1 minute 24.89, but that's not the fastest lap as Jeremy Hamilton on the Kawasaki puts in the quickest time of any rider. 0.003 of a second inside the Taiko Suzuki man as Dunlop goes past Pearson for second. But the McAdoo man looks again if he hits the brakes earlier than his rivals. Maybe not quite got the confidence in them that he'd like. I'll tell you what though, he's got a new target ahead. Guy Martin leads this race, but if anyone can catch him, then it's got to be Michael Dunlop. And having lost 2 places, Michael Pearson has now got Derek Shields breathing down his neck. On board with Dean Harrison, who is down to 7th now, having been passed by Brian McCormack. That's complete lap 5. It's still Guy Martin, but only just from Michael Dunlop, and they're both in the 1 minute 23 lap times, and it's a new lap record for Michael Dunlop as we look at Derek Shields taking on Michael Pearson. Dunlop has taken 2/10 off the existing record set by Guy Martin 2 years ago, and like two prize fighters, this pair are really squaring up to one another now. Dunlop using every available millimetre of track surface. We're back with the battle for 3rd. Shields closing in and maybe taking 3rd from Pearson. We may have to wait and see them come round before we find out. Back with Dean Harrison, a relative newcomer to road racing, but a very exciting prospect. Still 7th at the halfway point in this race. Coming up to complete lap 6, Guy Martin on the Taiko Suzuki in 1st. Michael Dunlop on the McAdoo Honda in 2nd. Has either gone inside the new lap record time which has just been set by Dunlop. Here they come to cross the line. The answer is no, although Dunlop took 2/10 of a second out of the race leader that time, just as he did in the previous lap, and here he goes for a stab at Martin. But can he do the Suzuki man on the brakes? I suspect no, judging on what's gone on before. He's got the power, but Martin has the braking to perfection. Or has he? The answer to that one, stunning move by Dunlop, one of the best I've seen here in the past few years. How good was that? Got the timing absolutely perfect. So Michael Dunlop leads, but what kind of a response will we get from Guy Martin? Whew, time to catch our breath. The road racing season is most certainly upon us, folks. We ride with Dean Harrison, stomping his foot hard on the back brake as he goes into Gordon. Michael Dunlop continues to pull away from Guy Martin. This is the view from the race leader as he takes on the Cookstown circuit. He's broken the lap record 3 laps in a row now. Will he do it for a 4th time? Well, have his tyres said enough is enough. It stands at 1 minute 22.64 as he heads into what will be the last lap. So the moment of truth, and it remains at 1 minute 22.64. He is 2/10 outside this time. Ryan Farquhar has won this race for the past 5 years. He's now retired, of course, and we could well be looking at the new king of Cookstown. On this kind of form, Michael Dunlop could well be the main threat to the short circuit stars at this year's Northwest 200. A whole host of top names from British Superbikes this year: Alistair Seeley, Josh Brooks, Stuart Easton, Cole Harris, Michael Rutter. But it could be this young man who we ride with, still only 24 years of age, that the racing world may be talking about more than any other come the middle of May. Making his way toward 21 Alan Connor, the first of the back markers, and he makes his way past. Dunlop will be on a different bike, of course, at the Northwest, the one that he has dominated on today. Once he got past Guy Martin, there was no stopping him from taking the win. And it's victory for Michael Dunlop at the Cookstown 100. Results time, and Derek Shields takes 3rd from Michael Pearson, with Guy Martin in 2nd, and new Cookstown lap record holder Michael Dunlop in the #1 spot.
Michael, congratulations, Cookstown 100 winner. Nice race honour to add to your growing collection.
Yeah, it's just saying to Jason, the boys there, it's been a while since I've won round here, so I feel good, and it's just great to win. That's the main thing, that's what we're here to do, and to break the lap record, you know, to be the first man under 22, sure, you can't go wrong with that.
I led it for a bit, and then Pearson come back past me, and then I got back in the lead again, and then Michael got back past us, and then made a couple of little mistakes. He got a second on us out, and I couldn't get him back. But he's riding well, fair play.
The top step of the rostrum for Michael Dunlop for the 2nd time on the day at Cookstown, but it wouldn't be the last.